Aloha! Greetings of eternal love and well wishes from the big island of Hawaii. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WFWPI's General Assembly 2021. We are convening from throughout the globe in this virtual forum due to these unprecedented COVID-19 times, and I wish you and your families abundant health, wellness, and safety. I know that many of you are participating at all hours of the day, so I wish you a glorious morning, a fantastic afternoon, and a stellar evening. Once again, mahalo. Thank you all for attending this important event. I had hoped this year's General Assembly would be in person, but with the current complicated state of the world, normal life and in-person gatherings remain uncertain with the Delta variant and other variants of threat. And sadly, with just 4 months until 2020, the world and all our lives are also at a planetary crossroads. Now, of course, I only wanted to bring you good news and a hopeful outlook for the future. But in these trying times, we must face the facts of the sad reality we are in to motivate us to make a real difference with our actions to get us to where we need to be in the future. I hold as my mantra my parents' words that women will save the world. I do believe that we can and will be the feminine voice and force of goodness, love, compassion, aid, and wisdom to make that dream come true. I know that as mothers, sisters, daughters, and all feminine bonds, that we are united by one common universal truth: to live for the sake of others with a sincere culture of heart. I see this truth to be the beacon of light and hope for the world, and the only embrace big enough to love all life on this precious Mother Earth. Only women can truly know and give the eternal respect, fair and right action, noble dignity she deserves. This is because she is us. She is the cornerstone of love, nurturance, life, harmony, peace, abundance, and happiness in our homes and outer realms beyond. She is the embodiment of true love, living for the sake of others. And she is a role model for all generations to live with that same heart of unified goodness, gratitude, care, stewardship, and prosperity for all life to come. Now more than ever, the world needs you and your families to stand with and for the longevity and flourishing of all life on earth. Can we as women, the center of our families, united globally, save our world? I know with absolute certainty that we can. Do you agree? Yes, I hope so. And I thank you for your heroic commitment and confidence, because our global peace work must start now. With the recent report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the outlook for Earth, our collective home, is catastrophic. With climate change no longer a myth, but a global reality, no one can turn a blind eye to the devastation we are witnessing daily. With wildfires consuming and polluting multiple cities, states, nations across the globe, blanketing us with suffocating ash and pollution, leaving a horrifying expanse of burnt wasteland and suffering, our hearts can only sink with each flare-up and snapshot of our scorched earth. We have all seen it in the newsreels of Western USA, Canada, Greece, Turkey, and even Siberia, with the largest wildfires now bigger than all other fires in the world combined, and releasing 505 megatons of emissions released since June, which would be more than Britain's entire carbon dioxide emissions for the whole of 2019. The jaw-dropping scale of devastation in Siberia is a colossal calamity. And although not as big a wildfire, I am even sad to report that on the big island of Hawaii, where I live, we just witnessed the largest wildfire ever recorded here, which heartbreakingly consumed over 40,000 acres of land, wildlife, and homes. And as devastating as our Waimea fire was, This is nothing in comparison to the Dixie Fire in California, which has consumed over 705,000 acres, and the voracious Caldor Fire threatening multiple states and estimated to take 33,679 homes. Our prayers go out to all over the globe suffering from the calamity of climate change. And wildfire is just one issue of climate change. In the 1,300 pages of the IPCC report, it lists every form of life and land on the planet is in jeopardy. Even without reading the report, I'm sure you have all experienced the extreme life-threatening heat waves in your respective countries, leading to drought and desertification in some areas, and massive rainfall like in southwestern Japan that caused an evacuation of 5 million people, and the deluge of precipitation topping the weather charts with the devastating record-breaking floods in Germany that tragically swept away hundreds of lives, homes, and livelihoods. With multiple storms around the globe wreaking havoc, America is currently reeling in the wake of the Category 4 Hurricane Ida that brought from the southern Gulf to the eastern coast of the United States a state of emergency, flood, and disaster. Unprecedented wind and rainfall from Louisiana up to New York and New Jersey tragically took the lives of 43 people on the East Coast, with the death toll expected to rise as the disaster is surveyed. Heartbreaking photos show a wasteland of homes, families, communities, livelihoods tragically struck, leaving one to continue to mourn daily as these tearful stories of our fallen brethren engulf our news feeds. Our prayers are endless with the loss of life from COVID-19 as well, at 4,579,216 persons, and the additional global loss of life, property, and creation due to climate change. It is almost apocalyptic with unprecedented weather patterns, tornadoes, immense storms, hurricanes, hail, landslides, sinkholes, you name it, consuming our lands, and colossal fires and floods in areas in magnitude never seen before. All the climate news I just listed above is merely a snapshot of the global devastation occurring just this summer season, necessitating that I update the data in this speech repeatedly in accord with our globe's worsening conditions. We are all horrifyingly witnessing the planet and all life on it trembling under the threat of mass extinction of species and the forecast of a multitude of future catastrophes on the horizon. Life as we know it hangs in the balance. The IPCC report clearly defines in its opening summary the root cause of these ominous natural disasters, namely it is unequivocal that human influence is leaving a path of devastation and loss of all precious life and life-sustaining needs. Therefore, as we gather here to celebrate our achievements and pave the path forward for peace in the future, Mother Earth must be included in that grand plan. If she does not exist and flourish, neither shall we. As a women's movement for peace, I don't see how we can leave her out of our global peace equation. And I am proud to report that since March 2020, WFWPI has done something to raise awareness of the pressing issues of climate change and the impact of peace and security for people and the planet. With the visionary leadership of our WFWP founder, Dr. Hak Jahan Moon, who is also my beloved mother, and our international president, Julia Moon, who is also my beloved sister-in-law, and generous donations from our immediate family and global family, we have raised funds through circular fashion to the amount to date to over $250,000 for noble humanitarian and environmental aid across the globe through a social venture project I founded called Giving for Good International. Today, you will hear reports from our amazing WFWPI global leaders, as well as our Giving for Good international family. Giving for Good began as a humble effort inspired by a dream I had of my father to offset climate change by utilizing circular fashion to reuse, recycle, repurpose fashion and other items from going into landfills. The fashion industry remains the second largest industrial polluter, second only to oil, and that worldwide adds up to 26 billion pounds of clothing that goes into our landfills. And 60% of those clothes are made of non-biodegradable synthetic materials such as plastic, nylon, acrylic spandex, and plastics. That will sit in landfills. And these synthetic fabrics also release nitrous oxide, a greenhouse gas that is 310 times stronger than carbon. When I shared the impact of fashion on pollution and the potential of circular fashion being a solution to our WFWPI founder, she wholeheartedly gave the first donation of her clothing and her full support, which launched our first heroic fundraising efforts to help those in need during the time of COVID-19 and the compounding stresses it placed on already desperate humanitarian and environmental projects in the works. Dr. Moon's clothing donation raised $99,414 in the first auction and $71,882 in the second auction in Japan, under the great pioneering leadership of our Japan chapter president, Moriko Hori, and her dedicated team. This amazing triumph was a ray of hope in Japan during the most difficult times where our membership and funds were declining and all our affiliated charities were in greater need more than ever. This victory then inspired the WFWPI USA and New York UN office team, who then spearheaded our GFG efforts in the US under the passionate and amazing leadership of Alexa Ward, Angelica Selvi, Merle Barlan, and great collective works of Kiyomi, Tamara, Sunha, Grace, Mako, Mrs. Perotet, Mrs. Hang, Mrs. Hirano, Mrs. Nelson, Jennifer, Iris, and Alex, and many awe-inspiring volunteers to raise over $87,000 in the USA. Together, our GFG international efforts have brought us to the $258,723 mark, giving aid to dozens of charities worldwide. And we are continuing to expand our efforts to save our world with the UN's 5 Ps: the people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. I offer eternal gratitude for those who valiantly took on this task and brought the great results we can share with you today. And we hope to invite you all to enjoy and expand these victories exponentially. I hope this WFWPI project and Giving for Good International can be adopted worldwide and offer hope in these unimaginable times to bring relief, aid, and an actionable path of a better way forward for all life. I hope you join us in our future efforts and fundraisers to make Earth our home, all life our family, a living, peaceful, sustainable, flourishing reality. If there is one truth and word that made this all possible, it is the truth and eternal impact of the love of family. That is why I know my parents' dream will come true. Women will save the world, because at the heart and center of all life born is a mother who gave her mind, body, and soul for the sake of her family, starting with our Mother Earth, to our Mother of Peace, and to all of you moms and future moms here today. You are the reason we are alive and trailblazing a path of how we shall all thrive in harmony, prosperity, and peace going forward. We are all one family under our Creator. Let us join all our efforts in saving this glorious gift of creation, our most precious family member in need. Can we do it? I ask you, and I hope you all chat in text and in heart in a resounding collective pledge saying, yes! Please join our efforts at givingforgoodinternational.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and donate or offer to volunteer. I offer my eternal love and gratitude to you all who have made this impossible mission possible with your undying faith, love, devotion, and absolute commitment to peace on this precious earth. May Heavenly Parent always bless, love, and protect you and your precious families. Namaste.